I strapped a tiny action camera to a wild desert lizard, and what it revealed beneath the scorching sand was absolutely mind-blowing. Let's dive right in. We are immediately thrown into a world of extreme heat. Down here at ground level, the desert sand can reach a blistering 160 degrees. Through the eyes of our scaly guide, every pebble looks like a massive boulder. We must keep moving to avoid overheating in this unforgiving sunlight. Lizards do not sweat like we do. Instead, they rely on their environment to regulate their body temperature. Right now, this little guy desperately needs shade. Watch closely as we navigate this alien landscape. A massive shadow looms ahead, a giant rock formation. We approach a tiny, seemingly insignificant crack at the base of the rock. To us, it is just a fissure, but to our lizard, it is the front door. Notice how the ambient sound changes. The howling desert wind fades into a muffled hum, replaced by the faint sounds. This is a secret sanctuary, hidden in plain sight. The temperature drops dramatically with every inch. Look at the texture of the stone surrounding us. These deep fissures have been carved by centuries of wind and rare flash floods. We are entering the first major intersection of this underground fortress. Which way will it go? Instinct guides the lizards. The darkness is almost absolute now. While lizards rely heavily on sight, their sensitive skin also detects subtle changes. It feels completely isolated in here, yet we know this rock is home to an entire ecosystem of hidden creatures. We reach a small, dusty chamber where the air is surprisingly cool and still. The mysterious shadow turns out to be nothing more than a trick of the dim light. But down here, paranoia is a very healthy survival instinct. We push past the illusion and continue our descent. The walls here are incredibly smooth, polished by thousands of years of wind rushing through this crack. Suddenly, the passageway tightens drastically. Our guide must compress its ribcage to fit through a gap no wider than a single human finger. It is a tight squeeze, but lizards possess remarkably flexible skeletons. Slowly but surely, emerging on the other side, the temperature plunges even further. We have entered the true heart of this geological formation, completely shielded from the sun. Listen closely, can you hear that faint, echoing drip? Water is the most precious resource in the desert, and our lizard has found a secret stash.
To a human, this would be a deadly cliff, but not for our agile climber.
Sharp, tiny claws easily grip the microscopic imperfections in the stone. We descend the vertical wall with absolute precision. We finally reach a flat, sandy floor at the bottom of the shaft. This underground chamber is surprisingly spacious. Look at the ground ahead. A piece of translucent, shed snakeskin lies abandoned in the dust. A terrifying reminder that we are not alone down here. Our guide pauses, tasting the air with a flick of its tongue. It is gathering chemical particles to determine how recently the predator passed through. Up ahead, a faint, pale glow seems to emanate from a crack in the ceiling above. Or perhaps it is just our eyes playing tricks in the dark. We are now entering the main foraging zone of this underground labyrinth. Every shadow could hide a meal, and every corner could hide a trap. Our scaly hunter remains absolutely still, blending perfectly with the dusty rocks. Suddenly, a faint rustling sound breaks the silence. The lizard locks its gaze onto a tiny, shifting pebble that is actually a desert beetle. Watch closely. The predator creeps forward with calculated precision. Every single footstep is carefully placed.
A successful hunt. The satisfying crunch of the beetle echoes in the dark.
With a full stomach, the lizard pushes deeper into the labyrinth. The jagged stone gradually gives way to softer clay and ancient, twisted plant roots. The The tunnel finally opens into a remarkably smooth, circular chamber. This is the heart of the nest, a secure. Notice the fine, powdery sand covering the floor. It acts as a perfect insulating bed, retaining warmth from the earth while keeping the area dry. The lizard begins to dig slightly, settling its belly onto the cool dust. You can almost feel its rapid heartbeat finally starting to slow down. This deep underground sanctuary is surprisingly peaceful. Tiny, harmless springtails scuttle around the edges. Lizards spend a massive portion of their lives resting in these hidden chambers to conserve vital energy. It is a necessary strategy for desert survival. As the reptile relaxes, the camera view slowly dips lower to the ground. The edges of our vision begin to darken as sleep takes over. Absolute silence wraps around us. For a brief, beautiful moment, this underground bunker feels like the safest place on the entire scorching hot planet. The absolute worst-case scenario. A massive desert snake has tracked back our guide's scent down in... Lizards are incredibly fast, but in this tight environment, a snake has the absolute advantage. The only defense right now is total, unblinking immobility. The snake tastes the air, its forked tongue picking up the fresh scent of our guide. It knows exactly what is hiding in the dark. We slowly, almost imperceptibly, back away into the powdery dust. Every single millimeter of movement, and then it happens. The snake lunges. A violent explosion of dust and scale fills the camera view. Those venomous... A chaotic sprint for survival. We scramble out of the core chamber and back into the winding dirt tunnels, kicking up heavy clouds of dust. The snake is right behind us. You can almost feel the vibration of its heavy body scraping against the rock walls in deadly pursuit. We are wedged tight in the rock. The massive head of the snake appears at the opening, violently pushing against the stone to reach us. But the gap is simply too narrow for the predator. The terrifying jaws snap helplessly in the dark, unable to crush the rigid stone. The sanctuary is compromised. We must immediately find a path back to the surface. Leaving the nest behind, we begin a frantic vertical climb. The claws scrape aggressively against the stone, pulling our tired body upward through the dark. Every muscle is pushed to the absolute limit. After the terrifying encounter below, the only goal now is to reach the fresh, open desert air. The faint light grows stronger with every agonizing step. The air becomes noticeably warmer and less dusty. We are almost at the surface. Just one final, tight squeeze between these ancient sandstone boulders. The lizard pushes its exhausted body, and we are out. The camera bursts from the dark crack into the blinding, beautiful golden hour sunlight of the late afternoon desert. The warm stone feels incredibly soothing against my cold, tired reptile belly. Glancing back at the dark hole we just escaped, it is a stark reminder of the deadly balance of life and death down below. The desert landscape is completely transformed at this hour. The harsh midday shadows are gone. But this peace is temporary. As the sun dips lower, the extreme desert temperature will rapidly plummet, bringing a brand new set of challenges. Before darkness falls, the lizard must find a new, temporary shelter. It spots a shallow, narrow crack high up on a sheer rock face. This new crevice is much smaller and simpler, but importantly, it is completely inaccessible to heavy predators like the snake we encountered earlier. Squeezing inside, the lizard does a quick scent check. The air is clean, and there are no signs of any other dangerous intruders hiding here. Peeking out from the safety of the new high-rise home, we watch the spectacular desert twilight. The sky turns into vibrant shades of purple. The frantic heartbeat finally returns to a slow, steady rhythm. Today was a terrifying... By strapping this tiny camera to our scaly friend, we witnessed a hidden, high-stakes world that humans almost never get to see or experience. Nature is beautiful, brutal, and completely unforgiving. As the desert plunges into the freezing night, our resilient guide finally closes its eyes to rest. Thank you for joining this incredible underground journey. If you loved exploring this secret animal world, do not forget to subscribe for our next expedition.